Hey guys, Dr. Frank here, founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Programs, where we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and many other addictions, including pornography, gambling, social media addiction, gaming, you name it, we can probably help. In today's video, we're going to talk about, can your lungs heal after you quit vaping? That's a question that I get asked all the time, and it's a question that we're going to address in today's video. So let's start with talking about some of the basics. When someone asks me, can my lungs heal if I quit vaping? My immediate response is this. To be honest with you, we don't know. And the reality is, we don't know the long-term effects of vaping. And I want to be very clear on what I mean by that. I understand that there's studies out of the United Kingdom and out of the US, and that Juul has even done studies with their own independent labs to prove the safety and efficacy of these products. But remember, there's thousands of different vape products on the market today. There's thousands of different vape juices on the market today. So no, I don't know of any long-term studies for high disposables or for puff bars or for that shady juice that you bought from a shop that doesn't really do too much when it comes to verification. Again, I know some vape shops go above and beyond when it comes to safety of juices, but some don't. So my point is, no, I don't know if your lungs are going to heal because I don't know what type of damage was done, because we don't have evidence of what each of these individual vape products are doing to a person. Especially, what's it doing to someone who's young? What's it doing to someone who's older? What's it doing to someone who's predisposed to having lung problems? What's it doing to someone who's predisposed genetically to developing cancer? We don't know the answer. So, will your lungs heal? The question really is, will your lungs heal from vaping? The question really is, what is it that your lungs are actually healing from? That's the first point that we have to get out of the way and in the clear. The second point that I'd like to make is this. And I think most physicians would agree. Every time you vape, it causes inflammation in your lung tissue. It causes scarring and inflammation and damage. Every time you consume nicotine, especially when you inhale it, it's a toxin. So your body starts this inflammatory response. Now you stop vaping for a few hours, you go to sleep at night, your body heals, your lungs heal. You wake up in the morning, you take that morning domer hit, and boom, your lungs have been poisoned again. The day goes on, your lungs heal. You vape again, hit, damage occurs. Now, what happens? Over time, eventually, your lung tissues aren't going to be able to heal from the repetitive damage that's being caused by vaping. And this is when illness occurs. This is how cancer occurs in someone who smokes cigarettes. Most people who smoke cigarettes don't get cancer in the first 10 years of smoking cigarettes. It usually hits them by the time they're in their maybe late 30s to 60s, maybe 40s to 60s. But that doesn't mean that cancer developed when they were 40 years old. The cancer started to develop with that first cigarette, with that first hit of nicotine, with that first toxin. Cancer started to develop on day one. The reality is that person's body, their lung tissue, was able to heal, and then they were able to recover. But eventually, that person vaped enough or smoked enough to a point where they were no longer able to heal. The body couldn't keep up with the amount of damage done, and then something like cancer or some other illness develops. So be very I hope you understand how that works. You don't just wake up one day with a damaged lung. Damage starts on day one. You go to the doctor, they do a chest x-ray, they tell you there's a nodule on your lungs, and they don't know what it is. They're going to keep an eye on it. And then 7 years later, that nodule turns into something aggressive, something threatening, something bad. That's how bad things happen when it comes to the lungs. Secondly, the thing that I can assure you is this. If you don't quit vaping, you never give your body an ability to allow itself to heal. So if you're concerned about your lungs healing if you quit. Because if you don't quit, I guarantee you that your lungs won't heal because you never even gave them a chance to heal. You're living in fear every day because of this. You wake up and you go to bed every day living in fear because you're concerned about your health. You're concerned about your lungs. And then this fear makes you anxious. So then you smoke more. I tell a lot of people when I do these videos, I say, listen, if I told you your lungs are going to heal from vaping, you would keep vaping. If I told you your lungs are never going to heal from vaping, you would keep vaping. You would. You'd throw in the towel and say it's too late. People do that all the time, even though that's the wrong thing to do. People do that all the time. So my response is, why would you want to live in fear the rest of your life? The fear of not knowing. The fear of not knowing that you might wake up one day 10, 20 years from now and be detrimentally ill. And maybe that illness develops when you're in the prime of your life, when you're in the prime of your business, the prime of your marriage, the prime of your school, the prime of your relationships. Because that's usually when it happens. That's usually when illness occurs. And then thirdly, okay, people always ask me, will my lungs heal if I quit vaping? Why are you worried about your lungs? Why aren't you worried about your kidneys? Why aren't you worried about your liver? Why aren't you worried about your pancreas? Why aren't you worried about the skin damage that's occurring and the collagen breakdown that's occurring? Why aren't you worried about your oral hygiene, like your teeth? Will your lungs heal if you quit vaping? Why aren't you worried about the rest of your body? Because nicotine is like heroin from a needle. Once it's in your body, it rots away at everything. Why aren't you worried about your joints and that low back pain and that neck pain that you've been having? Nicotine rots away at the disc spaces in between your spine and your vertebrae. It's not just your lungs that you should be worried about if you're worried about your health. But I guarantee you, the only way to stop worrying, the only way to end the fear and the question of will my lungs heal is by achieving sobriety. Leave a comment and let me know, what is it that you're most worried about? Is it your bones? Is it your kidneys? Is it your lungs? Is it your liver? What are you your skin, your physical appearance? What are you most worried about when it comes to using nicotine? Leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe to my other videos, how to quit. I put up a link to the first 72. It's how to get through the first 72 hours. Click the video. I'll see you in the next video, okay?